push it away. Intense chase and whispers before they all just fade. So how can I leave it all behind when I refuse to watch it fall to dust? I will find a this porcelain mirage may start to break. Each piece a reminder, every single little mistake. So how can I leave it all behind when I refuse to watch it fall to dust? Tell me why it won't ever be the same. I'll burn it all, no matter who's to blame. I'll find a way. I'll find a way. And every time I close my eyes, a little less of you remains. I know you're slipping further from me now. Am I too far away? Tell me why I won't ever feel the same. I'll try everything until you're back again. I'll find a way
Hello everybody and welcome to Aegis Esports Fate's Voyage Beyond. Aegis League. Welcome. I am Hirsch, joined by my good friend Spider Mansion. Spider Mansion, how are you doing today?
You know, I'm doing good. How are you, Hirsch?
I'm doing okay. I'm ready for some actually really cool games today. We have decided that we are going out on a limb here and just going completely off book. We took the Aegis script for this season that we spent like months and months writing, and we said, you know what, screw this. We chucked it out the window. We're now doing Eternal format for the first time ever in Aegis history, Spider Mansion.
I am really excited. Like you said, Aegis has not done Eternal. We just got some new cards that we've not seen before. What better way to see them than with all the highest power?
Yeah, for sure. So tonight we are streaming BFG Runeterra versus Wizard Gaming. We all know BFG Runeterra pretty well. We have Alex, we have Shirokuropuro, and we have Yustund as well. I don't know why I blanked on that. And then we have a brand new team in our midst, Wizard Gaming. I gotta pull up the roster here. I lost my tab. If you have it, jump in here anytime.
I do. We've got Chris, Rhaegar, Ramuwu today. All Wizard Gaming players. Like you said, I think they're a newcomer to Aegis. So I don't really know what to expect, but I'm really excited to see what they've got here.
Yeah.
Got some interesting deck lists, so it's going to be really cool.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? Let's get right on into the deck list for tonight. Let me pull that up for us real quick. For our first, actually, I'm sorry, we can't go to deck list yet because we don't know the second player, but we know we're following Alexander, so let's just go through his deck real quick.
Yes, let's go look at Alex's deck for a real normal conversation.
Yes. So for Alex's first deck, we have Seraphine, Ezreal, and Janna. Ezreal, a champion we haven't seen in a very, very long time, Spider-Man. How do you feel about this deck?
You know, I think Ezreal did nothing wrong. I definitely don't think it was his fault. You know, I think we should just bring him back. It'll be fine. It'll be great. No, I mean, I think a lot of people, especially Spellslinger players, really love these Seraphine Ezreal decks. You get a lot of power out of them in the Eternal format. So I'm interested to see what Alex cooked here.
Yeah. Just I love these inclusions. I love actually seeing Quicken see some play now. A lot of these Bandle City controlled ping decks like Seraphine Ezreal, they don't run Quicken a whole lot, but you can generate so much value from this by just like bouncing your own unit, bouncing your own Conchologist, or bouncing just another unit in general here.
Yep. Plus the Gust Monk here to generate a Cloud Stance is very nice here as well. Plus another way to get bodies on the board to stall.
Yeah, and always one of my favorite cards, and I absolutely hate to see it used against me, Early Bird. Early Bird is such a toxic card.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we all know it. We all hated the old Aloof Travelers. Early Bird is just that, but for Seraphine. It's very toxic, but it's when you're the one casting it, boy, does it feel good.
Yeah. Another thing that I think is interesting is like an inclusion of Gust Monk. You don't really see Gust Monk in a lot of these Bandle City Piltover decks, really.
Yeah, you don't. I really like it as a way to like generate recalls, generate pump spells, and just generate ways to clog up the board so your opponent can't get through.
Yeah. And moving on to the second deck, we have Rise Ionia, another classic from a while ago. I still hate to see it every day.
No one likes to see it.
I love watching this deck, just watching like players find or put the puzzle pieces together, but when you're playing against it, it can be a really rough time for yourself.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, That's one of the things you get by moving to the Eternal format. This deck gets its full power. It gets cards like Eye of the Dragon back. It gets Homecoming back. Gets Entreat back. A lot of really powerful things that, you know, they took out of the standard format for a reason. And it really makes this Rise deck go.
Yeah, I absolutely. It's just so cool. Just like seeing it actually like perform very well is just so nice.
Yeah.
But moving on to the final deck in Alexander's lineup, we have Karma Set. You know, you can't see Alexander play this game without seeing Karma Set in his lineup at all.
Yep. And I mean, it's a pretty stock Karma Set list, you know, like other than like the Homecoming, there's not a lot you see here that's not already available to you in the standard format.
Yeah. Watching Alexander be able to pilot this deck, he actually pilots it super well. This is like his biggest comfort pick, in my opinion. Just like I've met the guy personally, and he just would not stop talking about Karma Set and how much he loves this deck.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very powerful deck. And the players who play it well, like Alex, you know, really, when you watch it in the hands of someone who has mastered it so well, it really is just a completely different deck.
Yeah. So while we are still waiting to find out who Alexander is going up against, what do you think about the variety patch?
You know, I really liked it. There was some really interesting stuff in there. I haven't like messed around with it, but I really like the Bilgewater card that adds Drain to Bilgewater. I thought that was a really fascinating inclusion. And yeah, what do you think?
Honestly, I think it was really cool that Boulevard finally got his own card in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I also quite like the way that they revealed the cards as well, giving those to the content creators and players that went out to Riot for the Invitational.
Yeah.
The inclusion of the community has always been what I really love about this game.
Yeah. And just me as like a huge Anti-Jin player, like Anti-Jin Pirates are like two of my favorite decks in this entire game. Yeah. And just seeing Chakram Dancer now be able into play, it just like opens up so many possibilities, and I love it.
That's a big Anti-Jin card.
Yeah.
Plus, for me, as a Noxus control player, I quite like the new Broadmain card. New ways to kill units. Pretty good for me. Yeah. I quite enjoy this.
Yeah. And just the new prototype Porobot as well. Yeah.
One thing Timer Jace didn't need is more support, and it got it in a good way.
But think about the possibilities, especially with Poro King and Aurora Borealis.
True.
Just you can even generate this off of you can generate this off of Poro stories, right? Or
Poro stories is only one mana Poros, right?
Yes, you're right. It is only one mana
Poros. You can generate it off of Borealis.
Yeah, just an elusive with a tune as well. Like it's just so good. Like we've seen how elusives with the tune work out with like Vic Crash,
Zap Spray Fin.
Yeah, Zap Spray Fin. Just they're absolutely powerhouses.
Yes. So I have a feeling a lot of these cards are going to see quite a lot of play. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how these shape the format and then how they go with the next set.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to see all these decks. Like these decks, just being able to see Eternal format and seeing what everybody is bringing and cooking is just this is going to be a treat this week.
Yeah, like we said, I'm really interested in some of these decks that the Wizard team brought. We may get to them. Not sure yet. We're still waiting on the pick into Alex. So we'll see, but there's some really interesting stuff here. We've got the appearance of a Hecarim. We've got the appearance of Azir, and so it could be really, really interesting.
Yeah. And it looks like we have our match. It's going to be Chris versus Alex.
Yes. The battle of people who just use their first names.
So we will pull up Chris's decks here real quick. And with Chris's first deck, we see, oh man, just like seeing all these Eternal decks is like a blast from the past right now. Just seeing Gangplank Sejuani Plunder coming back into play.
Yeah, it's nice.
Why don't you take us through this deck, Spider Mansion?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've got some pretty standard, classic Plunder choices here. The Warning Shots, the Parlays, the Zap Spray Fins to tutor. Eternal standard card for this deck once it came out, Spirits Unleashed. But there's a card here that really sticks out to me as an inclusion that I'm not sure I've seen before, that maybe has come up. The one of Wildclaw Ferocity. It's a really cheeky inclusion that I quite like. Slap it on the Ruthless Raider or the Tusk Speaker. Or, either of your champion. I guess you can't slap it on champions. I'm thinking of Battle Fury. But slap it on either of those or your elusive unit. Just make a big Overwhelm unit. Seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, absolutely. It just, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm getting like really, really nostalgic right now.
Yeah.
But moving on to Chris's second deck. We have Set Trundle FTR. So with this deck, you're just basically ramping just to get to the late game, just to be able to really get FTR onto the board and just basically stall out for time as much as possible till you get to that point. We're running 2 of All-Seeing Oracles, being able to just have a pretty much 1 mana deny for 3 spells in the deck. We have 1 copy of Deny as well, just in case, and just so much other ramp. One thing that actually I don't see in a lot of ramp decks nowadays is Voice of the Old One, Spider Mansion.
Yeah, I love this inclusion. It can't pick up much. We can hit the any of our big units, the Ithid Stairs, the Old Timer, or the one of She Who Wanders. We can hit our Feel the Rush, our Feel the Rushes, or our Buried in Ices, these big game enders. So I really like this inclusion. I'm happy to see it's only a one of. You don't want to clog up your deck with it. But I really like it here.
Yeah, and just Avalanche to be able to clear the board, Harsh Winds just to be able to stall out even more. Oh man, the only thing that I'm not really sure about is just like the one of She Who Wanders. Like most of these decks you see like at least 2 or 3 copies, right?
Yeah, I mean, She Who Wanders, ever since it received the buff to obliterate all units with 4 mana, with 4 power or less, it's been seeing a lot of play. It just comes down in ramp decks and wins games on its own. Because a lot of the win cons, can be a lot smaller. Backline champions can be a lot smaller. So to see only one, it's interesting. I don't know if they're thinking of a certain meta read, or if they just like the other cards better because of the Old Timer. If you turn it on, it recalls all enemies. They think that's enough. It's an interesting choice.
Yeah. And moving on to the third deck of the night, we have what I think is Darkness. And, well, sort of Darkness. It's Heimer Nora. Not really Darkness, but...
No, but that's okay. I really like some of these inclusions here. I like that we're not on more than one of the Eclectic Collection here. I think, in this deck, sometimes you want, some sort of nice, panic button. Like with the Eclectic Collection, but drowning yourself in them doesn't really work out so well. The Necrotic Arachnoid's a really cool inclusion. We generate so many units and kill so many of our own units off that I really like this idea of getting value out of the units we sacrifice to stall at the board. The 2 go hards is really interesting. You know, if we expect to be, you know, playing really late into the game, having a way to not deck ourselves or to heal ourselves is really nice. And then the Mr. Thrift is interesting, right? You know, just stays on the board. We can constantly put more portals into our deck. Now, it doesn't put them into the top 4 like our Nora does. It just puts them anywhere. But having them does you know, still helps your game plan.
Yeah, I when deck first came out, I was pretty high on it, and just seeing like the new support, just like like you said, Mr. Thrift, and more Portal Scholars into this deck as well, and just Necrotic Arachnoid is just like a really good top end in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a really good choice.
Yeah. The only thing I would honestly make changes to this deck is like maybe more eclectic collections, just because you're getting more portals into the deck and just being able to swarm the board really.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice, or a good option. I like that we're just doing the 3 Portal Paloozas instead. You know, I think with the junk constructs, the Noras, we don't want to. I like personally staying low on the eclectic collection so we don't flood like our deck, get too heavy on them, or just, you know, don't treat them like a solitary win condition, because you know, the portals is what we really want here. I don't think we're ever really getting the funny eclectic collection puff cap win condition here.
Yeah,
but we might, maybe we see it.
Yeah, for sure. Now let's get on into one of my favorite parts of the night, is the matchup theory, Spider Mansion. What are we looking to ban on both sides here?
You know, that is a really good question. I think if you're Alex, you probably... I'm struggling between banning Plunder and Trundle Set. I don't think Nora can ever beat Rise, and I find it very unlikely that it can beat this Karma Set or this Ezreal Seraphine deck. I think once we get the combos going, it just becomes too powerful. Plunder, I think, can kind of outrace all of our decks. And in terms of Trundle Set, in the case of Rise especially, having those It stairs to blow up all of our landmarks can be really big challenge. Yeah. As well as just having access to those Ionia tools. So I think if Alex expects Chris to leave up the Rise deck, we might want to target banning this Set Trundle. Otherwise, we probably ban the Plunder. That said, I think the plan from Alex is to just beat up on this Nora deck. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Like, Alex's deck is not the worst into Plunder. It's not the worst. It's able to get through pretty. It's not that difficult. Yeah. It's not easy, but it's not difficult. Yeah, Plunder is the ultimate 50-50 deck. You bring it because it's pretty even into everything. Yeah. But on the side of Chris, you're probably looking to ban, honestly, the Ezreal Janna Seraphine deck, right? I could see that. I think the combo just the removal pieces for Ezreal, Janna, and Seraphine, other than in the Nora deck, are not really the most efficient. And it can just get its combo rolling. So I think that's a good target ban there. The other thing is, people don't like playing against Rise. I could see a Rise ban coming out just because it can be really miserable to play against and lose against. And just, it can, like a lot of the alt win cons in this game, really can be a struggle to interact with. And outside of the Ionia deck, it doesn't really feel like Chris has a lot of ways to do so. So I could see a ban coming down there as well. Yeah, it's like, it's not really an easy ban.
I'll be honest.
I don't think this is an easy ban phase, and this is the first Aegis in the Eternal format. The Eternal format is just kicking into swing with this variety patch. So everyone's still kind of feeling out what Eternal's going to look like. So we're still kind of figuring out if the new cards impact that. I didn't see a lot of new cards in these lists. These are a lot of like old staples, but I think a little people may be getting their sea legs back on Eternal still.
Yeah, we have Alexander's band and we're just waiting on Chris's band right now, and then we will get right on into this match. So it feels like it's cheating because I already know what's going to happen for Alex. I already know what he's planning on banning, but needless to say, this match is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I'm really excited. No spoilers, Hirsch. Don't tell me.
No spoilers.
I want to find out with the rest of them.
He's banning Teemo.
Oh no, Teemo! Not my friend. I was hoping to see him.
Your friend? What the?
I love him. He's my little guy.
Who's friends with Teemo? No one's friends with Teemo. Everybody hates that rat.
I'm friends with Teemo.
Everybody hates that rat. Let's be real.
That's my rat.
Everybody says, how could Ezreal do this, when the real question we should be asking is, how could Teemo do this?
Well, I'm happy to let Teemo do this.
Yes. So even I'm trying to think of of more content for us while we wait here.
We do have to generate some content, huh?
We do. Barry Mansion, how have you been feeling? Like, are you planning on playing in the open this Saturday?
I'm gonna be out and about tomorrow, but I'll probably be playing from my phone. If anyone's run into me on ladder recently, they'll know that I am basically one-tricking and have been since for months the Nico Nardek. So if you run into me tomorrow, I will certainly be playing that. I couldn't hide it if I tried. Other than that, I don't really know what I would plan to bring, but I'm sure it'll be interesting.
Wow.
What about you? Are you planning to play tomorrow?
I am, but I don't want to reveal my lineup yet because I am super tryharding this time. But we finally have the bans in, and oh man, what a prediction on both sides. We see the Rise ban on Alexander, and on the side of Chris, we see any second now. Hold. Are you holding?
I'm holding. I'm also watching the OBS and not the regular part, so...
Hold on. I'm trying to get it to work. It's not working, but on the side on the side of Chris, it's been a long pause. We are seeing a Trundle set ban.
Yeah, I really like this from both players. I definitely think Alex can squeak out a win against Plunder, but I definitely really like leaving up the Nora Heimer. And I think if Chris is going to do it, he's gonna need to squeak a win on from Nora Heimer out on this Ezreal probably. Use those good removal tools on Alex's champions.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I always do this every cast, and I know everybody always gives me the same answer. Oh, we're just gonna do the coin flip, yada yada yada. But what deck are we queuing up first?
If I'm Chris, I want to get my win in with Plunder immediately. You've got, I think Drizoth has done the numbers on this. In a situation where you have a deck that's really, really unfavored, you don't actually coin flip. You want to do something with that deck that's really, really unfavored, but I don't remember what it is. So I'm going to say you want to play it first.
I agree. Honestly, my ideology. why can't I speak today? My ideology, I think I'm saying that right. I don't know why I'm struggling today, but is to play your most comfortable deck in your lineup first, because you're always going to be guaranteed, or pretty much guaranteed, to always skill diff on the decks that you are most comfortable with, right?
Yeah, I agree. I like to if I'm not coin flipping, I'm playing the deck I've played the most.
Yes. So honestly, with the side of Alexander, probably you're queuing up Karma Set first.
Yeah, I would probably anticipate that from Alex. Just play the Karma Set.
And if I was piloting Chris's lineup, like you said, I'm obviously going to go for the Plunder lineup first, because I'm more comfortable on Plunder. I do have experience on Heimer Nora, but I don't have as much time with it as game playing Sejuani.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably do the same. I probably feel exactly the same way. I've played many a Sejuani deck in my day. Big Sejuani fan. So I would probably start there as well. Yes.
So, with our predictions here, who do you think's going to win here? You think it's going to be Alex? This match. Do you think?
I think Alex will probably take it out. Like I said earlier, I think it's going to be really hard for Chris to squeak out a win with this with the Nora deck. So my prediction is Alex will take this. I would be very happy to be wrong. I love Alex, but I also love an underdog story. Seeing Wizard Gaming, newcomers to the league, take this down would be really exciting.
Yeah. To be honest, I have to represent Alex just because he is a fellow Mitten State gang member representing.
You're from the Mitten, or are you Upers?
I am from the Mitten. I'm not from the Uper.
Yes.
Do you know how many people live up in the Uper Spider Mansion?
I know it might as well be part of Wisconsin.
It might as well be a part of Wisconsin, but the population of the Uper might as well just be like 200 people. I actually honestly think it is actually 200 people.
What do you think's more populated, that or whatever Canadian province is right above it, which is probably either Saskatchewan or Manitoba?
Oh, absolutely the Uper. For those of you at home that don't know what the Uper is, Michigan is divided into two parts. There's the actual state that is shaped like a mitten, and then right above it that's disconnected from Michigan for some reason, and actually attached to Wisconsin, that is the Upper Peninsula, what we call it, but we Michiganders, we call it the Uper.
Yep. Now, Hirsch, when people ask you where you're from, do you just hold up your hand and point? Because that's the thing I've seen people do from Michigan.
No, I tell them most of the people from Michigan, like, you could be all the way up in Flint, like an hour and a half away, or you could be from Grand Rapids. You ask somebody where you're from, oh, I'm from the D, I'm from Detroit. No, you're not from Detroit. Yeah. You are from Grand Rapids. You are from Flint. You are not from Detroit.
Yeah, I've actually, I've been to Michigan my fair share of times. And, I do this too. I'm usually like, yeah, I'm going to Detroit. I'm not going to Detroit. I'm going to Ann Arbor. I'm going somewhere else.
But it's like nobody knows what other cities are in Detroit nobody knows what other cities are in Michigan. It's like, oh, what's in Michigan? Oh, Detroit. That's it. That's all there is.
That's what people think. Which
technically you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's nothing else in Michigan besides what's in Detroit.
To be fair, not much better over here, except we got two cities here. We got Philadelphia, the good one, and Pittsburgh, the other good one.
The other good one, yes. The other good one. I don't even know what the other good one is. But
you don't have another good one?
No, I don't have another good one. I only know of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Yes. No, Pittsburgh is the other good one.
Oh, right. I mean, the only thing Pennsylvania has is Heinz ketchup. That's it, right?
That's what they got over in Pittsburgh.
Yep, they got plenty of Heinz ketchup. But back focusing onto the game, we really got sidetracked while we're waiting for these players. We're waiting for these players to get into the game. They're having some client issues while we're trying to solve that with some technical difficulties. But getting back on track here, focusing on the game here, what do you think the final outcome of this game will be? Like, do you think Alexander's going to win 2-1? You think he's going to win 2-0? Or you think he's going to... I know you already said Alexander's going to win, but how deep do you think this is going to run?
I think it depends on where Chris queues first, right? I think if Chris just runs it, runs Nora twice, I don't know that he's going to I don't know that he's going to get one in. That's why I really like getting this plunder in, getting this a 2-1. Especially for tiebreakers, those game wins do matter. So getting that that game win on plunder, down the road could be really important. But so I think if that's the angle, he can get a 2-1.
See, I'm on the opposite. Well, not really the opposite side. I'm more of, I think Alexander's honestly in a 2-0. Like, this man is like so solid on these like Ionia control or these Piltover control decks that I think he's able to just skill death the entire match away.
Oh yeah, he's definitely in his element here. I think going 2-0 is a very distinct possibility here. And I think, I think it would be a really, really exciting for Alex to do so. Get the season for BFG started off strong early.
But I don't want to count Wizard Gaming out yet, because like they're kind of like the mystery player or the mystery team in this event. Like, we know nothing about them. Yeah.
I think it's really exciting that for this season here, we've got a couple of teams, that are really newcomers to the event we've not seen before. We're going to see a couple of them today. And I'm really excited to see what Wizard Game can do. And it looks like we are into game one.
Yes, and, we are finally in game one.
We see Plunder first from Chris, but no, we see Alex start with the Ezreal Seraphine deck.
And what an actual good start for Chris. Like, Chris has actually a really good lineup, or a good hand here right now.
Yeah, I really like this. I think it's always tough to decide if you want to take that Plunder proc on one. With Gangplank in hand, I quite like it. We're gonna see another Plunder proc come out on 2. We're really moving quickly. I'm worried if Chris can continue the pace up. I don't see a good way to trigger turns 3 and 4. Yeah. But this Porofly with Spell Shield is really nice here. I think it's possible that Alex may have wanted to, take the extra damage and eat that so he could, prevent Plunder later with this Pokey Stick.
Yeah. And just hitting the touch speaker off the top just to be able to guarantee you this turn 3 is actually really massive. But we see the Pokey Stick come out, making this touch speaker a 3-1, and when it swings, it has multiple answers to it.
Yeah. Oh, and this prank on the Omen Hawk is going to be huge. Now Chris is really not going to be able to push any damage tomorrow. Not tomorrow. This turn. Tomorrow. I guess he's not pushing it tomorrow either.
We're waiting till tomorrow to actually finish this game out.
Yeah. And this is tough. We got the turn 3 proc, but we're on 3 Gangplanks in hand. Yeah. We're not getting a turn 4 proc. We're going to have to keep one of these Gangplanks in. Thermal Beam off the top is really going to make it hard for Chris to do that.
Oh, absolutely. But with this Gangplank, we're now going to be able to generate 2 parleys in hand now. But yes. Are we going to see an answer? No, we're not going to see an answer to this Gangplank right away, but it's going to be punished because this Seraphine is going away right now. But unless Alex wants to use the Quicken on it just to save it, which is actually a really good idea.
I anticipate Alex will use the Quicken, and that's why I really like this Gangplank parlay going face. Just playing around those like bounce spells, buff spells, etc. We really want this proc on Plunder, and if on that Quicken, that second Gangplank would fizzle.
Yeah. And Alex,
that would be huge.
Alex thinks he's pretty safe just because he's seen a second Gangplank just be played right now, but little does he know, Chris is holding on to 3 Gangplanks and another parley.
I really like this develop first. don't show the third Gangplank. Yep, and level it first. We have a flipped Gangplank on 6. This is huge.
This hand was looking a bit short, but now it's actually starting to look pretty well. But it doesn't matter because, like, after we play this Gangplank, Spider mentioned, we're all out of gas.
Yep. You know, this is one thing I noticed from Chris's list. He's only on 1 Eye of Nagakabura, which means we really don't have many ways to refill after this.
Yeah.
I also really like this pass from Alex here. He's not in a rush to do anything. That parlay face does kind of telegraph that there is a third Gangplank in hand. So going for this line, just holding up mana, stunning the Gangplank. I quite like it. We're probably going to see this bar come out next turn, and then we're off to the races.
Yeah. Just Alex is in just such a commanding position right now. It's actually awesome. And
and this Omen Hawk off the top is really not going to do it.
What did we generate off this bar?
I think that's the Fae that buffs your units if a portal went off this turn. The Fae Librarian, perhaps? I don't remember his name.
We'll see. We'll probably see it here eventually, but Alex deciding to clear up this board. He knows Chris is out of gas. He sees it. Clear this board up, and what does Chris have left? He just has a 3-2. What is this 3-2 going to do for Chris?
Yeah, and I really like cleaning up the keg here as well. We're not in a rush to push this damage. Really saves us off the top in case of like a warning shot or anything like that. Spirits Unleashed, I don't know if it's going to do it. It buffs our units. This Omen Hawk actually can come through now. We're losing our Yordle Squire. But we still have a Seraphine that's... First, how close is that Seraphine to flipping?
That Seraphine should be at 8 of 9 right now.
Wow, okay. So honestly, we just let this round end and then we can... Oh, I quite like this line, actually.
Are we recalling the bar? Are we recalling Barkeep?
Recalling the Barkeep, generate 2 new spells, and, these might be useless. We can rummage these away.
What are we hitting here? We hit Ancient Clockling, or Ancient Preparations
is huge. I would guarantee he just took that sputtering song spitter as well. Yep. And Ezreal. Wow. I think that's going to do it.
Yeah, that is going to do it.
Ezreal is leveled. Chris with no cards in hand. This round ends.
Yeah.
You see surrender come out from Chris. That was really, really tough from Chris. We saw a really good early start, but it just couldn't maintain.
Yeah, it's a really rough spot here.
Yeah. So now Chris is gonna have to get the win get 2 wins on Alex's favorite deck, like Alex's pet deck. This is gonna be really tough.
Like Alex is in the driver's seat right now. Like this is his comfort pick. He like I said earlier, he threw my script out the window. He said, you know what? I don't feel like playing my comfort pick right now. Let me just win off of this deck real quick and see where it goes.
Yeah, I quite like it. Get that Seraphine Ezreal out of the way. Just I can take my time, kick back with my favorite deck here.
Yeah. And going back, we see the queue up of Gangplank Sejuani once again. Honestly, despite having the Alpha Claw Ferocity in hand, it's not a bad hand. It's not a bad hand.
Like and that Wild Claw Ferocity may be a really good start later. Oh, but this develop is... I guess we were punished either way, but we really have the answer to this develop in hand. We're not going to get a pro... Oh, I guess we do. This high note's not turned on.
Yes.
So yeah, develop was correct.
And we're off to the races with one proc on turn 2 right now. But the only thing that is going to be an issue, I mean, I really hate to burn this parlay. Just burn this parlay phase. I think we have to too, but it's going to be hit by a Nopify here.
Yeah. You know, we're not going to get many better chances to send this Nopify. But, you know, this is really, we have to send it.
Yes.
We have to send the parlay from Chris. We get to just answer back with a Spirits Unleashed this turn. We drew a second one.
We didn't play Spirits?
We didn't play Spirits. Wow, that is not what I expected.
Spirits Unleashed is absolutely massive here.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised by this choice here from Chris. I mean, Spirits Unleashed is your power card. If we get these cards buffed up, I don't think Alex is going to be able to answer units on board. And that's really what we want.
Yeah. You got to play a Spirit. Why?
I think this line first is fine. We still have Spirits Unleashed mana.
I guess.
I think this is a perfectly acceptable one.
I guess.
Yep. And yes, Alex is now tapped under deny. We are free to cast the Spirits Unleashed.
You know, now that I'm sitting on this and thinking, honestly, including a Pioneer Scholar in this deck is not a bad call for Chris.
Yeah. Agreed.
It basically just kind of helps you out into this matchup a lot, whereas right now you're trying to just play for an aggro line here and just go straight face.
Yep, I quite like this line. Forcing a stun and a Mystic Shot out. We're still getting the Plunder. We don't have either of our champions in hand, which means we don't need to Turbo Plunder. We can take our time, look for our champions. Eye of Nagaboros lets us do that as well. So we get to sit back on our heels a little bit.
This is a
Obviously,
really,
you don't want to wait too long, but
this is a very awkward Eye of Nagaboros just drawing into 2 Make It Raids.
Yes, but we did hit Babbling Beard off the top, which means we're going to draw a champion.
No.
And we don't.
Because we're too buffed. We're too far ahead.
Because we buff. Omen Hawk hits the Tusk Speaker, and between that and the Spirits Unleashed, it has 5+ power.
Not just one Omen Hawk, 2 Omen Hawks.
It was hit by both Omen Hawks. So it's a 6/5.
Oh man. That is so awkward.
6/5 at least.
No,
Okay,
only one Omen Hawk.
Hawk.
Only one Omen Hawk in it.
Only one Omen Hawk. However, you know, that is a 5/4 Overwhelm. So it's not a bad hit, but boy, is it not what he was looking for.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what do you think? I kind of like open Alpha Wildclaw here. Push 2 Overwhelm units.
You have to do it on the
on the Omen Hawk?
Yes, on the Omen Hawk, 100%.
Yeah, agreed.
But it's gonna be rough because like once we Alpha Claw this once we Wildclaw Ferocity this, it's gonna just get bounced.
That's true. It puts an Alpha Wildclaw back in hand. You know, we're not probably going to play a 6-mana unit. We can, though. We're on a pretty cheap hand. We did push damage, so this Barb Chain is online. I don't know if I like playing it this turn. It would really... me forgetting how Barb Chain works. It will draw those cards at the start of next turn.
Yes.
But we have plenty of mana in order to play our champions here.
But Chris opting not to go for the Barb Chain here. Honestly, I think like our hand's not the greatest right now. Like we need to get more draw off.
Yeah, that said, we do have 1,000,001 ways to proc this Plunder here. I don't hate it. I think I personally would have gone for the draw. Going for it on our attack token is not the end of the world. Like to draw those cards on our attack token, not the end of the world. Yes, that is how that works.
Wait.
So that Make It Rain was nice. It does not clean up the set, though. A second Make It Rain will.
Yeah.
If that's the line we want to go for.
I'm very
feeling we don't bother because we're playing against Ionia. They have 1,000,001 answers.
Yeah.
Let's just take it next turn.
That's fair. You see another Portal Pioneer coming out. Just I'm assuming we're just gonna get refreshments.
Yeah. Just take the heal. Make sure we don't get at risk of getting burned out. I do like a Make It Rain coming out here though.
Just to be able to force out an answer here.
Yep. I expect we'll see the Homecoming. Oh, we just leveled, so it doesn't kill it. I like that better. That seems better, actually.
Yeah. Honestly, pretty good hand getting Barkeeper.
Yeah, this is really, really strong from,
I'm sorry, no,
Alex here.
Not Barkeeper.
The Smooth Mixologist
yes.
here.
Yes.
We could heal face. We could heal the set. We're just in a commanding position here.
Yeah. Oh, and we get a set spell.
Yeah, we get the set spell. I don't know. I don't think. I find it hard to believe that Chris is going to be able to come back from this. Next turn is turn 10. We draw into one of these karmas. It's smooth sailing for Alex.
Yeah, like I said, just to be able to go this long against Karma set deck, it just puts you in a really bad position. And there's one of those karmas right off the top.
Yep. And at 3 mana as well. It's going to be tough. We have 2 place your bets in hand. I don't know if Chris is going to be able to pull this one out.
No, especially when we have a face breaker in hand. Like, this is going to be really rough for Chris.
Yeah. I suspect that Chris will probably develop another unit because this attack isn't pushing much. Then Facebreaker comes out and there's nothing that could be done.
Yeah, it's kind of spelling the end right now.
Yeah.
So, with this Alpha Claw Ferocity being as big as it is, we have a tag out in hand. Yeah, this is just lethal on this turn.
Yep. Yep, that's our only unit. We'll have to play it. We just tag it out for 3 mana, presumably.
Oh wait, we're Homecoming.
Homecoming, get an extra heal, get more coins. Quite like this line.
That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, man, Chris sees the writing on the wall.
Yeah, very, very well played from Alex here. I think other than 1 or 2 lines, Chris played this quite well as well. I think that, I think he was just in a tough spot against Alex on these spell slinging decks that we know he pilots so well.
Yeah, just it's so sad because I've been on the opposite side of that matchup. I've been playing Plunder. It's very possible to get there. You just have to manage your hand and actually have a really good mulligan just so you're not running out of gas in the tank. You're supposed to be able to apply as much pressure as possible without basically burning through your entire hand, which we saw in the first game.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, in that first game where I think Chris could have done it, he was off to a great start. We just didn't find any ways to refill.
Yeah, it's rough. And in the second game, he had a really good start. Chris had a really fantastic start, but I think just not playing that Spirit's Refuge early on and just losing that Zap Sprayfin, it really, really hurt Chris a lot.
I do have to agree. I think that Spirits Unleashed there would have been really strong. On our side, we could see that there was no deny in hand. That could have been a contributing factor for Chris. He didn't want it denied. I think for me, I would have taken the risk anyway. I think if we get that deny out, especially having the second Spirits Unleashed in hand, I think we'd be pretty happy with that trade.
Yeah, sure. But with that, I think all the other matches are wrapped up for BFG versus Wizard Gaming. Brett, do we have any updates on their matches? I'm waiting for an answer from Red. I don't think I'm gonna get one, but with that, I think we're gonna cut it to a short break, and we will update you after the break with how the rest of the matches went. So stay tuned. We'll be right back for the next set, which is going to be Always Be Gaming Fa and good men gamers. So with that, stay tuned. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back, everybody, to Aegis Esports Fate's Voyage Beyond LoR League. I am joined by my friend here, Spider Mansion, once again. Other direction, sorry, I'm mirrored. Spider Mansion, how are we doing still? Are we still doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited for, still a whole night of Legends of Runeterra action ahead of us.
Yeah. So for the folks at home, why don't you take us through what just happened in the last set that we just witnessed?
Sure. We watched BFG Runeterra take on Aegis newcomers, Wizard Gaming. We followed our dear friend Alexander pilot his, some would say cringe, others would say based Spellslinger decks into a mid-rangey control lineup from Wizard Gaming's Chris. We saw Chris pilot Plunder, and unfortunately couldn't get there. Fell 0-2 to Alexander, playing Karmaset and Ezreal Seraphine.
Yeah, and with a quick 2-0, honestly, we saw Chris just basically run out of gas in the first match, and then basically had a pretty decent start until he started drawing into like 3 make it rains. It was like when he drew into that into 2 make it rains off of Eye of Nagiboros, that was really rough.
Yeah, that was a shame. Again, we had he drew pretty well until he didn't. He had a good start, and then the triple make it rain hand wasn't going to do it against an attacking set.
Yeah. And with that, we're moving on to the second set now. So we have ABG Fa. I have to be careful and say that properly because I don't want to say foe. But and versus Good Men Gamers tonight. Also, ABG Fa, pretty much a returning team. They're the second APAC team that's in our group right now, besides ABG Targon. But we also have another new group of people with us, Spider Mansion, the Good Men Gamers. Why don't you take us through their lineup real quick?
Yeah, we got 3 new players here in the Good Man Gamers, led by their namesake, the Real Goodman. And as well, we have Anti-Poison and Money Mental here from their team today. And I believe we will be watching Kaizen and Anti-Poison on this set here.
Yes, we will be. In just a moment, we will be going through Kaizen's decks here. So with Kaizen's first list that we have, oh man, Kaizen's lineup just like touches me. I absolutely love it. We have Draven Rumble, Spider Mansion.
Yes, this is just classic Noxus P and Z aggro here. We've got, Blade Squires and Reborn Grenadiers. We've got we've got aggro units. We've got discard fodder. We've got the augmented Clockling here to fish. We've got Ruined Reckoner for extra attacks. And we have the newly nerfed but still great Enraged Fire Spitter here.
Yeah, it just, even with the Enraged Fire Spitter nerfs, I said this during the lore report tournament with Marshall, just losing 2 attack doesn't really hit this card as much as it really should.
No, it hurts it in the Titanic decks, the Ramp decks, the Volibear decks, that maybe wanted to cheat it out. But decks like this, they're just using it as burn and removal. This nerf's not gonna cut it.
Yeah, just still being able to hit that 2 damage to a unit and face as well, it makes it's still a very powerful card. The only thing that I really think that, like, I don't think the Titanic nerfs really hit it, besides it not getting dragon boons anymore, but still I don't think it's that big of a deal. Even with the nerf, like the biggest thing that I think was the main issue with this card is just might in general. Just having an 8 power unit getting might becoming an 11 power unit with overwhelm that can just challenge anything on the board. That is absolutely massive, just for the low cost of 9 mana committed to that.
Yeah, it's still a 9 power overwhelm unit that's still pushing quite a lot of damage. It's still Rico Rexing, but just maybe a little less now.
Yeah, it's like I say that as like low cost, even though 9 mana is expensive.
Yeah.
But like for a 6 mana unit, that's absolutely huge, though.
Yes.
But
yeah, it's a lot of commitment.
Yeah, moving on to the second deck here, we have Aphelios Victor.
Yeah, I quite like this. You know, this is different than, you know, last Eternal Seasons, or we saw, you know, a different Aphelios Victor deck when Cosmic Call was still in vogue here. We had basically Targon Allegiance builds. Here we don't have that option. We're going for a pretty aggro-y build here. We've got the Zaunite Urchins, we've got the Ballistic Bots and Lunari Dustbringers to give us discard outlets. We've got the Neandroid here, the Augment Elusive, which is an interesting choice here that I quite like. We've got the Piltovan Castaway, give us some equipments, turn on that Expanses protection as well. Maybe give us Scout or Overwhelm. Yeah, I quite like this list staying low to the ground, aggressive, instead of going now that Cosmic Call is nerfed for a late game invoke plan.
Yeah. Moving on to Kaizen's third and final deck of the night. One thing that hits really close to home to me is Lulu Jinx. Just having, it's basically just a discard your Mecha Yordle deck. I absolutely love this. Just being able to buff up with Lulu, just your smaller units, your Boom Baboons, your Flame Choppers, even your Squeakers, and your low cost Mecha Yordles like Geode. Absolutely massive.
Yes, I think this is great. You know, friend of Aegis, Stolen Conch here would be proud that somebody else is bringing a Lulu Jinx deck. And you know, this looks really good to me. We don't have any main decked units or followers rather under greater than 2 mana. We've got Squeakers, Boom Baboons, Flame Chompers, and then 1 mana units. Yeah. And then on top of that, we've got just all the burn spells, Pokey Sticks, Get Excited, Mystic Shots, even Electro Harpoon. And then interestingly here, Hirsch, what do you think about this? We have 3 Spirit Portals.
I don't know how I feel about this. Like, honestly, if I'm being honest, it kind of hurts me that we don't have Sneezy Biggle Dust in this deck. Sneezy Biggle Dust in this deck was just so good when, like, this deck was like absolutely massive back in, I don't remember which season this was, but like Sneezy Biggle Dust was absolutely massive for this deck because half if not 75% of your board is created units. You're getting 2/2 to everything on your board for 4 mana. That's absolutely massive just to get you over the top and be able to swing wide and just go for a nice finisher.
Yeah, I quite like Sneezy Biggle Dust as well. You know, I think, you know, back in the old days, I would have really liked to see it here. But here, Spirit Portal, 3 mana, 1 mana less, advance our discard game plan, and grant all of our units +1/+1. You know, I think that's a good trade-off. I'm really interested to see how this plays here. I think it's a really interesting choice from Kaizen.
Yeah. And moving on to Anti-Poison's list, we have AI. Wow.
Near and dear to my heart. You know, I quite love playing Azirarelia. There's some interesting choices here. I love, you know, we've got the Doom Keepers, we've got the Forsaken Bakais, you know, Predict, we've got our standard Blade Dance units, we have Domination. But this Desert's Wrath is really, really interesting. I quite like this inclusion, you know, since the buff a few seasons ago. So I'm really, really excited by this. And then the One of Deny, try and keep our opponents at bay. You know, this could be really interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, honestly, it just looks like a very standard list to me. Just with the updates nowadays.
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't know how I feel about this going into into Keezen's lineup. It's aggro really beats this deck into the ground, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially Draven decks. You actually get the opportunity to level Draven when you're playing against Azir.
Yeah. And moving on to Anti-Poison's second deck, we have Plunder.
Plunder, it's
Once
back.
again, it's
I
back.
have a feeling we may be seeing a lot of it this season.
I have a feeling that we will be seeing that too, but do you see the inclusion that I actually think is absolutely cool?
Is it everyone's favorite 2-mana spell, Sky Splitter?
I thought we were on the same wavelength here, Spider Mansion.
Are you excited by the Dreadway?
I am excited by the boats. I always love Dreadway.
Yeah, I am. I think people have gone back and forth on whether they like the top end being the Dreadway or feel the rush at times. I personally agree with you. I love the boat. I think it's a really good inclusion. Just a way to push a ton of damage in the late game. Tutor an extra gangplank if we need it. I quite like the inclusion here.
Yes, absolutely. And also something that you don't see a lot in the Gangplank's adjoining decks, which I think you should nowadays, is Father Fury. Father Fury is absolutely massive.
Yep, absolutely. Coming down after, we really like our Plunder triggers here with the Jagged Busher, but getting another Father Fury, could fish us another burn spell. I quite like that inclusion here.
Yeah, and moving on to Anti-Poison's final deck. I absolutely love this deck so much.
I love this. I love this inclusion.
When They Who Endure got changed and They Who Endure just got unleashed into this meta, I absolutely loved it. When it, back last year, towards the end of the year, before we had Worlds in that last Eternal season, I climbed so far up the ladder with this deck. I almost hit rank 1 with this deck. It was absolutely massive. I loved it. Just the amount of skill diff potential you have in this deck.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a big fan of everyone's least favorite 7-mana spell, Atrocity here. So, you put together an Atrocity deck. I'm going to play it. We've got all our favorite Shadow Isles aggro tools, and then the beautiful They Who Endure top end. I really, really am excited to see this one play out.
So with that, we'll throw it back to the caster desk real quick. We didn't get a chance to do this last time because we had a little bit of issues. But one of the things that I love about Aegis is seeing the predictions with everybody in the community. Let's see what we predicted across the board, Spider Mansion.
Yeah, I know I predicted AVG to take down this set. I really like the decks that Goodman Gaming brought today. I really love the inclusion of Azir, Plunder, and They Who Endure Atrocity. I really like those decks, but I don't know that they're going to do it against Kaizen's lineup here.
Yeah, and we're having some technical difficulties. I apologize for it, but I did predict the ABG FA as well. But the community did not get a chance, or really get to vote, or they did get to vote. They didn't vote at all. But if you want to, if you want to influence your votes and also prove us wrong with what you guys believe, there is going to be a poll before every match while we're going through the decks. You can vote, and whoever has the highest poll throughout the entire community will be shown on stream here. So with that, let's go on into the matchup phase now, Spider Mansion.
Let's do it. So I guess this is the next fun phase. What do you think, Hirsch? What do you think's getting banned here?
Honestly, Keezen's probably going to ban Plunder. Plunder is probably the hardest deck to get through here.
Yeah, I could see Kaizen banning Plunder. I think that's probably a really good choice. I could also see banning They Who Endure. It has a really strong top end. We don't really have ways to deal with. We see Anti-Poison bans the Draven Rumble. And you're right here. Kaizen banned Plunder.
Yeah, honestly, these are pretty predictable bans.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Yeah, just They Who Endure. I haven't seen this matchup for sure, but I would think that Lulu Jinx is not favored into They Who Endure.
I would probably agree with that. I think, you know, we need to keep the board clear, and then once the board gets clear, they who endure can really sweep it up. Once that, like, you know, 13/13 and 6 mana overwhelm unit comes down, I don't know what Lulu Jinx is going to do about that.
Yeah.
Except maybe pull it to the side with the Chompers.
Yeah. Honestly, I 100% agree. Victor Aphelios is definitely going to be fine into Azir Irelia as well. I think it will
I do agree with that.
I also do think it might struggle into Endure. I don't know the tables off the top of my head, because like with Eternals are usually around for a very, very short period of time, so it's really, really hard to really get your matchup tables on some of these Eternal matchups.
Yeah, I agree, and it's kind of quite like coming into this Aegis season, throwing everyone into Eternal, kind of throwing all of our matchup knowledge into the blender. You know, no one's really coming in with like this real studied opinion of the meta. We can get to really see a wide open format, especially in week 1.
Yeah, 100% agree with you here. But what do you think we're going to be seeing here first?
I think if you're anti-poison, you probably play They Who Endure first. You know, if it's me, I would play Azir Irelia first. I love it. And we do see anti-poison agree with me that Azir Irelia, fun deck. And yeah, it looks like Kaizen is playing Victor Aphelios first.
Yeah. Honestly, Anti-Poison's hand is really, really good. I hope this is post-mulligan. Oh, it's not post-mulligan. Wait.
Oh, we kicked away the sparring student.
Why do we do that?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're looking for our Deus, we're looking for our champions, looking for Sand Soldier token generators. We're not finding them here. We're only finding an Irelia. You know, I guess that's why Tom Kench is saluting us.
Yeah, and just seeing the early trade with our Dust Peddler.
Yeah, that's a really, really positive trade for Kaizen here.
Yeah.
We're not getting many good blocks off of that. And we see Anti-Poison does take the Irelia here.
Yeah, we see the Mountain Goat come out. We see. I assume we're going to see another Mountain Goat come out, or we're just going to see
Mountain Goat is probably our best card in the matchup.
Yeah, and we see first of Desert Wrath pop out, going to buff our Sand Soldiers to 2/1 now. We're going to see probably the next one on the on the next token as well, but we're seeing Aphelios come out on the board now.
Yeah, quite like this pick, this choice from Kaizen here. We'll probably just eat this 6 damage and then summon a unit next turn. Well, probably, you know, if you're Kaizen, I could see going for a really early lifesteal gun here, Severum here. Just saying, yeah, I'm just going to stay healthy this whole game.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And we generate jumpers. And we're seeing Irelia get taken off the board. Actually, yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see retreat.
Yep, this retreat, and then we'll probably just return it back out.
But right now, Anti-Poison is on turn 4, and he has not really any good board presence.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting this Dunekeeper down, but and we're gonna get to stick Irelia, but then what? We don't have Deus, we don't have Azir. We really need to start getting the token generation going.
Yeah, I agree. But honestly, we're probably going to see some form of...
And we hit Deus off the top. That is a great hit.
Yeah, absolutely. You honestly, playing Desert's Wrath into this Deus is absolutely a huge power play move right now.
Do you think we play Desert's Wrath, or do you think we play this duet?
Oh, we're 100% playing this Desert Wrath right now. There's no reason for us not to. We're getting 3 Sand Soldiers this turn. It's so huge.
That is very good. The only difference is we would get 2 attacks instead. But I think it's about the same. And instead we we see an open attack. What do you think about this, Hirsch?
It's not the worst. It's not the worst, but we are going to see Aurelia gets taken off the board because of this Targonian Telstones generating Hush. So it's going to be a little rough for us. Like, I feel like if we're going to do this, we have to open with Flawless Duet first, right?
Yeah, I would agree. Hope that Hush comes out sooner.
Yeah.
I do like that we'll be able to get some Blade Dances going next turn while we stall and look for our champions again. But this Mountain Goat is going to be really powerful for Kaizen, just generating gems, healing up our blockers.
Yeah. So far, Anti-Poison's kind of got, like, he's not in the greatest of positions, and we draw third Desert Rat. That's something that we don't want to see right now, Spider Mansion.
No, but I do like playing it here, just getting this buff up, and then go into the Blade Dance so that we can just swing.
Well, we're not able to swing with these two Sand Soldiers right now.
Yes, but the third soldier that will be generated off the dais will now be 3-1 on unblocked, would be 4 damage. Would be quite nice. We'll probably have to sacrifice the Mountain Goat in front of it if that's the line that Anti-Poison takes. Could also see the 2-1 come down. Yeah, if you're Kaizen, you just end round here.
Yeah,
that's like really good.
That's really good for us.
Ooh, we see the return of Aurelia. Yeah, I really like playing this Desert Rat first. Not showing that we top decked Aurelia and saving our attune. However, Kaizen did draw this Howling Gale, so Aurelia will be answered.
Spin it round, throw it down.
Yeah, and this Blade Dance is absolutely huge right now.
Yeah.
And we're going to see Aurelia just a Blade Dance into another turn, into another Blade Dance. Into another Blade Dance right now. We're going to get a pretty huge swing right now with the Victor flip.
So we're going to get a Blade Dance with 2 blades and a 4-1 Sand Soldier. And then we'll be able to swing again with that Ribbon Dancer.
Yeah.
And one of these Sand Soldiers. And
we get Fury on Victor, something we don't want to see at this point of time right now.
I mean, that's still quite good here. We're going to be able to, on this Blade Dance, we're going to be able to just block the 1-1, buff it up, or even block the 4-1. There's only 1 card in hand from Anti-Poison. We can take that risk.
Yeah. Gonna look to generate Severum here and flip the Aphelios now. So now we have another chance of generating the weapon that we just chose.
Yep.
And we generate a Flash Bomb Peddler. That is interesting, you're right.
So this Aurelia is not close to leveling. So I don't know about swinging with it here.
I don't know why we're not playing the Flawless Duet first. We should have learned our lesson from the last time here.
Yeah, I unfortunately have to agree here.
Oh wait, Aurelia is flipping.
This is really interesting.
So actually, yeah, this is correct. This was correct to do.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, and now with this block, Kaizen. Yes, this is the block from Kaizen. Now, if Anti-Poison wants to save his Aurelia, he has to Shurima shuffle it out of the way. After which, Kaizen will be able to clean it up with the Howling Gale. However, after that, both players' boards are looking rough.
Yeah, 100%. But honestly, I still think that Anti-Poison's actually not in the worst position right now.
No, yeah, I mean,
like, it was looking rough, but he actually found some lines to actually kind of put himself in a better position right now.
Yeah, especially now that Yeah, yes, I like this play. Yep, and we see this get cleaned up. Neither player really has a strong board, and Kaizen was not able to generate the Severum.
Wait, actually,
I think Anti-Poison just wins here now.
yeah, I think we're actually pretty close to lethal. I don't think he wins just yet, but we're pretty close.
Yes, because
actually,
yep.
yeah, we do. We have lethal now. We have.
No, it will be lethal.
Yeah, it's
two
lethal
blades
now.
comes in, especially with that shapestone off the top. That's gonna do it.
Yeah. Wow. That's actually kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I did not think AI was gonna make it through to this deck, but lo and behold, Anti-Poison actually found the lines.
Yeah. Good draws, good lines, and he made it through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now Kaiser's gonna have to beat this They Who Endure deck that we kind of predicted she'd struggle with.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting, Spider Mansion. I'm really excited to see this deck. I love this deck.
Agreed.
It's near and dear to my heart. It's one of the first decks that I actually started playing in when I first picked up the game.
Back before they originally nerfed They Who Endure to 7 mana?
Back before they originally nerfed it, when you ran Callista in the deck.
Oh, wow. When Callista was a reasonable choice.
Yes. Callista, Kindred, They Who Endure. Oh, man. Take me back, please.
I'm not going to do that. But that's okay.
But we see the Curse Keeper come out on the board right now. There's only really two. We have two ways of slaying it, but I don't think we're going to really look to slay right now. I think we're just going to play the second Curse Keeper, take this damage straight to face, and then look to play the Blighted Caretaker next turn.
Agreed. And then that's going to be pushing quite a lot of damage.
I could honestly see an argument for glimpsing one of them now.
I think that would not be terrible, especially with this They Who Endure and Atrocity in hand. I would not complain if that was the line.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're rewarded for not doing with this Hate Spike.
Yeah, but we're not gonna get I actually just realized this deck does get slowed down a little bit now because we're not able to generate a husk anymore off of Hate Spike.
Yeah, that's true. That's huge. Not generating a husk, really does hurt. We could always high roll that Spell Shield husk, which would be, very, very strong for that They Who Endure.
Yeah.
Basically making it Nasus with Overwhelm.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know if we're not supposed to really... I feel like we were supposed to Hate Spike the second Curse Keeper here.
I think so too. I think that would have been a good line. I don't mind saving the mana for when we can back it up with Glimpse Beyond, but now that Kaizen's only on 1 mana, I think that's really safe play.
Yeah, I see the reason why we're not doing it.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about Anti-Poison's hand a lot, but let's talk about Kaizen's hand right now. Kaizen is not looking the worst.
No, but with Kaizen's hand's looking decent. We're making this ballistic bot pretty big. We've got some overwhelm units. The problem is I don't know how it's going to contend with this hand from Anti-Poison.
Yeah, we see the second Hate Spike come out just to get rid of this ballistic bot, just to take out this chip damage from Kaizen. Going to play the Piltovan Castaway, look for something that can actually help us, and we do find it.
Yeah, quick attack is pretty nice here. On the other hand, Anti-Poison might just be happy to throw one of these units under the bus.
Yeah, just get this They Who Endure online quicker.
Yeah. Exactly. And we get to Glimpse. We get 2 cards for our trouble.
And we get Fading Icon as well.
We have Fading Icon and Curse Keeper.
Yeah, dude, Anti-Poison is in such a good position right now.
Yeah, this is really, really strong from Anti-Poison.
Yeah.
I honestly, I like this. We don't need to just jam our They Who Endure this turn. We can generate even more value for it.
You see the Lunari Dustbringer get picked up by the Clockling, Augmented Clockling. I don't know if that was correct.
I don't hate it. It also could have been. Was it a pick or was it a skip?
This is also a good point. This is a very good point.
Because if it was a pick, it was a pretty snap pick.
Yeah. So you see Anti-Poison just go with the swing right now, just be able to clear this entirety of this board and just take very, very favorable trades here.
Yeah, I think if you're Anti-Poison, do we have a death counter? Is that something we have access to?
I mean, we're going to see this They Who Endure get played very, very soon. So
I was going to say, I think we just play it this turn. You know, let Kaizen spend some mana, play it this turn, then we can open attack.
Wait.
That's huge for Kaizen.
That absolutely is massive.
Finding that Hush is the answer that we need.
That just makes Anti-Poison's life so much harder.
Yep.
But there's really no way of playing around it. The only counter to this deck is either Vengeance or Hush.
Yep. And there's truly nothing we can, like, if you're if you're Anti-Poison, there is nothing you can do about it.
But I don't think Anti-Poison really cares about this. I think we're kind of finding our own win con without the Endure.
Yeah, I think with the They Who Endure, we're like, if you're Anti-Poison, you're in a good spot. But we're presenting a really scary board here, even without it.
So, quick update from the other matches. We see Kiro taking on Money Mental and winning 2-1. So ABG FA is up 1 set right now. And we do see that Anti-Poison is going in for another swing here and honestly clearing out pretty much most of this board, which is perfectly fine. Anti-Poison has just developed an immovable wall pretty much.
Yeah, but on the other hand, he just sort of gave up his whole wall. Obviously, the Kaizen did as well. And that's probably better for Kaizen. For Anti-Poison, Kaizen has a much harder time refilling that board. But Kaizen has the answer to the They Who Endure in hand. Those are his only 2 cards left in hand on Anti-Poison side. I don't know what's going to happen after this.
Like, Anti-Poison needs to play this like perfectly. Like, obviously we have caster vision.
Oh my god, and he hits the Cosmic Youngling.
It's a 1919. Holy.
Yeah.
And we hit second They Who Endure.
That is huge, but Kaizen hit second Hush. That's huge.
That's absolutely massive. Holy Spider-Man, we have a game on our hands here.
This is going to be close. Very interested to see what sort of line Anti-Poison takes here. If he just rips the Atrocity, just kind of holds back. And to see what Kaizen does. Kaizen could try cleaning up one of the small units. I do like this just this equip. It's very, very light. We can get in the air.
It's just
this should level our Aphelios, yes?
Yeah, it does.
So Kaizen has to be really careful here. He could be tempted to just play this, generate this Gravitum and play it. But that's going to tap us on, in order to do that, we'd be tapped under this Hush.
I like the respect of not going for this fully.
I like this. And Anti-Poison doesn't take the bait. Just blocks with the with the Spiderling. Doesn't take the bait of the free block.
You see Hapless You see Hapless Aristocrat get top decked on the stack or on the side of anti-poison, but we see both They Who Endure get swung out right now, going to get met with both hushes here. I don't know how I feel about these blocks here. I think like we were supposed to block with one of these Cosmic Youngling or this Cosmic Youngling here instead of this Aphelios.
Yeah, I have to agree. You know, I think if you're anti-poison, you could take a really aggressive line and atrocity that Aphelios, try and set anti-poison behind. You know, I think that's, based on information we have, though.
Yeah.
You know, we already saw. Did we see 2 hate strikes already? We're not playing around the third, perhaps?
We saw 2 hate spikes already.
Yeah.
But
so perhaps we're not playing around the third.
Honestly, if we did throw out this atrocity just to get this Aphelios off the board, we were kind of just saying, all right, we're done.
Yeah. I think from here,
this
might do it for Kaizen. Yep. Anti-poison accepts defeat, and we're moving on to a game 3.
Yeah. Oh man, I didn't think that Kaizen was going to be able to do it, but he managed to sneak one in there while we weren't looking.
Yeah.
So now we have Lulu Jinx versus They Who Endure, which...
Yeah, and... up front, we were saying this may be a really difficult matchup for Kaizen.
Yeah, on paper, it does sound like it's going to be a very difficult matchup.
Yeah, especially without access to Targon, we're not going to be able to answer the They Who Endure other than just by dragging it to the side. And, that's really interesting. Anti-Poison had Atrocity, They Who Endure in the opening hand, just kicks it away. Saying, this deck puts on a lot of pressure. This deck from Kaizen puts on a lot of pressure early. I can't just hold my win con in hand for free.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that right now. Just being able to draw into that, like, we don't need to see They Who Endure and Atrocity really early.
Yeah.
But instead, we go for the Fury. We play Squeaker on the side of Kaizen and go for the Fury Horn Crasher.
Yeah, I like this. I think it lets us play it on 2. Nice and early. We get deck buffs. We get to Omen Hawk our deck, or now Yodolski Snowdog our deck. Very nice to see. We draw Lulu off the top as well. Another really good hit. This Bark Beast does kind of turn off our attacks, though.
Yeah. Like, dude, Anti-Poison has a really good hand right now.
Yeah, Anti-Poison is... And with this Blighted Caretaker off the top as well, I don't know if we can utilize it. Our board is too wide, but what a good problem to have, right?
Yeah. So we're seeing Kaizen going with the correct line and then taking out the Bark Beast right now.
Yes.
Oh,
I quite like it.
So we're just gonna let...
We're just gonna trade our board.
I mean... I suppose.
Yeah, I think I like just taking the small blocks on the Bark Beasts, taking a little bit extra damage up front, and then cleaning up later.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Kaizen's not in the best of positions right now. Oh wait, now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking with gas here.
Yeah, we probably play out this Squeaker, right?
Yes, 100%. No, actually, I like Scrap Heaping here.
Scrap Heap is good as well. Oh, yes, because Scrap Heap does let us just open attack here.
Yes. You have to go for Dune Hopper Mech, right? Yeah.
Dune Hopper Mech is strong, yeah.
I think Dune Hopper Mech, honestly, is probably the strongest Mecha Yordle in the entire Mecha Yordle pool. Don't at me.
Yeah. It's really a good one.
Yeah.
So we're probably losing our Lulu here.
Oh no, this is actually huge if Anti-Poison commits this block.
Yeah, if this is the block Anti-Poison goes for, we get to keep this Lulu.
And we get to swing again with our Flame Choppers actually controlling this board.
So we probably won't get to swing with the Flame Choppers, right? Because Anti-poison will clean it up next turn with the blighted caretaker. But no, anti-poison sees the line, plays around it, and does not allow that Lulu to stay alive.
Yeah, I absolutely like a really heads up play by anti-poison.
Yeah.
We see Spirit Leech get popped up here on the top deck. I think we're just running low on cards here. I don't hate playing Spirit Leech here. I really don't.
I don't disagree. I think we can afford to wait until next turn to play it. But no, it just comes out now. We draw 2 Hapless Aristocrats, which is a really nice draw. And we're in a decent spot here again for Kaizen. We're doing okay. Anti-poison didn't really hit what he wanted to hit.
Yeah.
And we can clean up this Elise, prevent the level if he swings with it.
Like, we have really good trades here, and anti-poison has no draw power anymore, so it's looking really rough right now.
Yeah.
Anti-poison swinging for lethal here.
Yep. So we do have to clean some things up.
And I do like these trades a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
So if we scrap oh, never mind. We're just playing the Lulu.
Oh, what a hit.
What a hit. That kind of just, like, the way anti-poison's hand is, I don't think that there's really a way to really beat this now.
No, I think we're really smooth sailing here. Especially now. Oh wow, yeah.
Don't know if I agree with getting rid of the scrap heap. I think we should have gotten rid of our Spirit Portal. Yeah.
I don't disagree. But this whole board is surviving. Oh, and we're getting rid of the Mystic Shot. That is not the Mystic, the Get Excited, which is not what I expected. This is also not what I expected. I would have expected to see a buff on one of these Sand Soldiers here. But I do like this. We get to keep all of our units, force anti-poison to trade down his whole board, and we're just smooth sailing here. I don't think anti-poison can come back from this, even with a They Who Endure off the top. It would have to be exactly They Who Endure into Atrocity to be able to survive.
No, I think we're kind of at the point where They Who Endure does get us there.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. Because They Who Endure would have probably been able to swing through for lethal, right?
Yeah, like, we've slayed enough that we could actually get there, I think.
Yeah. But we didn't get there. I guess he still has time. We're not pushing lethal yet. And this
Shadow Tech Walker?
No, the Shadow Tech Walker is a nice hit as well. I was going to say our Flame Chompers does get shredded here.
No, it doesn't. Maybe it gets to a 4/4.
Flame Chompers that we discarded.
Oh.
Was our 7th unit on board.
Yes, and we see the Lulu flip now coming into effect here. We're getting close.
Yeah, and I mean, we could even, if we top deck They Who Endure, I think you're right, we just win the game.
Yeah, like,
especially with Atrocity in hand. You could They Who Endure and Atrocity same turn.
That's what I love about this deck. Like, you could be backed into a corner right then and there, but when you just top deck that They Who Endure, if you're against like a deck that really can't really deal with it, you're in such a good position. Oh no!
We don't find it, and he can't act. He only has the Ravenous Butcher, and that's gonna do it.
That is going to do it. So Kaizen wins 2-0 for his team, and I think that's pretty much it for the entirety of the sets. Yep. We see the Amy 2-1ing the Real Goodman, so we have 2-1s across the board for ABG FVB.
Yep, so it sounds like ABG FVB takes down Goodman Gamers, but not without a fight. Each player took at least a win off of ABG. Getting those game wins in here gonna be big down the line.
Yeah, for a team that is new to Aegis versus going up against ABG Fa, like big people like Keezen, Amy, and Karo, like it's not an easy set. But to be able to put up as much of a fight like we saw with Anti-Poison, like it's very, very commendable.
Yes, agreed. I was very impressed with Anti-Poison's play here. And I have a feeling they'll be an underrated team to watch here through this Aegis season.
Yeah, for sure. But with that, we are going to cut it to another quick break here, our Spider Mansion, with next set being our final set of the night, and one of my favorite ones to watch, the collaborative set, which we'll go into more details in when we come back from this break. But stay tuned. We will see Lotus Esports going up against Aphrodite Esports Alpha. Stay tuned. We'll be back momentarily. Welcome back, everybody, to Aegis Esports Fates Voyage Beyond LoR League. Say that 5 times fast, and I promise you will get a very special prize. I will not be doing that, though. Spider-Man should give us a recap of what we just saw last match.
Yeah, we just saw what I think was a really exciting match between Goodman Gamers, Anti-Poison, and ABG Kaizen. And Kaizen took some nice triple discard aggro in Victor Ophelios, Lulu Jinx, and a third deck that was banned, Draven Rumble. And we saw Goodman Gamers take a personal favorite of mine, Azir Aurelia, along with a personal favorite of yours, They Who Endure Atrocity, and along with that Plunder, which was also banned. And Azir Aurelia got the win over Kaizen, but Anti-Poison could not get there with the They Who Endure. Kaizen ended up taking it down 2-1.
Yeah, I'm very sad to see that not happen, but you win some, you lose some, as they always say. But now we're moving on to the third set and final set of the night. One of my favorites to watch because everything can go wrong. Everything can go wrong in this set because we are in the collaborative set in Spider-Man. So what that means is basically 3 members of the roster including the pilot, so 2+1, they all sit in a call and they do a collaborative backseating set. So what I've noticed from the past with these sets is they go very wrong because you use up a lot of your time. I've seen so many of these sets go to time because there are too many cooks in the kitchen. And it gets very, very hectic really fast.
Yeah, I mean, you've never been a player in your own league.
No, I haven't.
So I can tell you from experience, it gets really tough. A lot of voices. You really have to make your decisions fast, or else you're going to go to time. Yeah. You need to know when to listen, when you need help, and when you, as the pilot, just need to make an executive decision.
Exactly. And what basically makes this deck, or what makes this format very hard for a lot of these players, is when they bring lineups that are very convoluted and require a lot of thought just to think out your lines, like Karma Set decks like that. Mainly a lot of the Ionia decks, they require a lot of thought into your line, in planning out your lines. You have so many options, but you have to figure out which option is the right one quickly.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it gets really tough when you're bringing those big hard decks with a ton of options. You're going to have your teammates adjusting a ton of different lines, many of which are not the ones you do, and you're going to need to take a lot of time to think them all through, especially as 2 other people are shouting in your ear telling you what they think.
Yeah. And before we get lost in the sauce here, just talking about how cool this is, we have Lotus Esports taking on Aphrodite Esports as well. 2 regulars for the Aegis LoR scene. They've been in here for the past 3 or 4 seasons, I think. So they know their way around this. They've been here a while. They know what's going on. So right now, our pilots are going to be El Duro on the side of Aphrodite Esports and LTS Reagan on the side of Lotus Esports. Let's get right on into these decks. I want to dissect everything here, Spider Mansion.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some stuff to talk about with these Aphrodite decks. Like this blank screen.
We are having a little bit of issues here, so I am going to basically throw it back to us while we try to figure out these issues here. Let's basically go through these decks without showing them on screen. So we have Jax Ornn, Karma Sets, and Aphelios Victor on the side of Lotus Esports right now. I'm gonna pull up these. Yeah. I'm gonna pull up these lists here real quick. See if there's anything that's out of the ordinary. pretty standard list for Jax Ornn. You got your Omen Hawks, Weaponsmith Apprentice, you got Dulski Snowdog, which I absolutely love from the last expansion. Oh, as Alan likes to call it, Omen Dog. A fantastic card. Can basically snowball the game very well, or very hard, with just being a 2-mana 2/3 that just basically does the same thing as Omen Hawk, except it's on strike or on attack.
Yeah, I could snowdog the game really, really quickly.
Yeah, you have Entrancing Lure, your Three Sisters, Sky Splitter, pretty much everything in your one of Parts Made Whole. A lot of people that I've seen, they've decided to cut out Bellows Breath, but Reagan has decided that they're going to go on a one of Bellows Breath, which I don't see a reason why not to. Then going on next, we have Karma Sets in the next matchup, or in the next lineup. Basically, very standard list. We're seeing more inclusions of 9 lives, people opting out of it, people opting into it. We saw Alex in the first set basically not opting out of it, which I feel like it's more of a personal preference, in my opinion.
Yeah, at this point, I would have to agree. Ever since it's starting to see play, people are really, really seeing the merits of the card. But, seems like it's a personal preference thing.
Yeah. And we are going on with a one of Rocket Barrage as well. A lot of the majority of people have honestly been including this a lot because it is a very good aggro control board card.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the final deck of Lotus Esports, we have Aphelios Victor as well, running 2 of Acorns, 3 Pharaoh's Financiers, Augmented Clocklings, a lot of 2 sub dredgers, which I don't think we saw on Kaizen's list as well, or Kaizen, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then we're seeing this to be like a much more controlling list. We have 1 Glorious Evolution, we've got 2 of these Submersibles, we've got 2 Star Shapings. We're not looking to do the discard aggro thing. We're looking to go late.
Yeah, like there's 2 versions to this list. You either go hard into the burn, or you just go hard into the board control aspect. Now, moving on to the other side of the matchup, we have Rise Ionia, a deck that we basically saw earlier, or we didn't get to see earlier in this first match, but we saw basically the exact same list. I think one of the lists the list that we saw earlier with Chris's list is that he wasn't on Shreem and Telstones.
He also was not on a Portal Pioneer earlier in the Rise deck.
Yes, Portal Pioneer, and honestly, Shreem and Telstones are huge inclusions in this deck. I love Shreem and Telstones so much just because of Spirit Fire. Just being able to just say, hey, you're swinging big, let me tune that down a notch here.
Yeah, I quite like that card being included here.
And moving on to the next list, we see Seraphine Victor Set. Pretty standard list from what I am seeing here. Nothing out of the ordinary. You have your inclusions of basically a lot of your one-offs: Sputtering Song Spinner, Formula, Unworthing Soul. Just basically getting to the point where you can either get to your win con of playing Pursuit of Perfection on curve, or not on curve, playing Pursuit of Perfection, just basically playing all your one-offs, just getting there fast, or just playing through your win con with Set. But actually, no, I lied. Sorry, the out of the ordinary inclusion that I see out of this deck is actually Victor. My bad. Yeah. I don't see a lot of people playing Victor in this deck. Wait a minute, hold on.
I think that's what I said. Like I said, there's a lot to talk about in these Aphrodite Esports lists around the champion inclusion. Like you said, we don't see Victor inclusions here, and we're just throwing it in as a cheeky one of, we're going to generate a good amount of cards with these coins, with the Portal Pioneer, with the Encore. We may it. I think it's a really cute addition. We'll see how it pans out. We may have just wanted a 3rd set, but for all I know, this Victor could win them the game. Yeah.
Normally you would see Ezreal in this sort of lineup, but however, why don't you take away the last deck and tell us what's going on here?
Here we have Janna, Neela, Ezreal. Here we're looking at what looks to be a pretty stock standard Neela Janna Temple deck. Again, this is with the inclusion of Temple. A lot of these Neela Janna decks had been cutting it. However, we have other standard Neelajana inclusions, the Pool Shark, the Windboard Mariner, the Exalted Cloudwinder. But then over off to the side, we've got some nice cheeky Ezreal inclusions, the Divine Draft, the Tidal Invocation. We've got an Aftershock, and then 3 copies of Ruined Rex here. For those of you who don't know, Ruined Rex, our baby Riptide Rex, 5 mana, play Cannon Barrage up to 6 times now. For how many times you drew cards last turn.
Yeah, normally you would see that with TF, because TF just honestly is able to scale that really fast. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Neela Jana here. You may want this 1 TF that Twisted Fate could really take advantage of the Sunken Temple, but no, they're going for the Ezreal. We've got a lot of target cards. I think they think we could level Ezreal quickly and then take advantage.
Yeah. And going on to the overall, let us circle back to predictions here. Who do you think is going to win Spider Mansion? Well, let's reveal all of it. Oh, wow. I am the lone man out here.
Yeah, it looks like just you have faith in these Aphrodite lists.
Yeah, like how can you not? Like they're pretty much cooking, and I don't think they're overcooking here. I think they just put just enough spice in this lineup.
I really like the spice. Unfortunately, I think the board control decks from Lotus's side are going to do a little bit better of a job holding down the fort. Like I think Aphrodite is really locked into banning this Jax Ornn, which gives Lotus free reign to play these more traditional Karma Set and Aphelios Victor decks, kind of lock things down. And then if you're Lotus, you probably ban Neelajana. Just go for these kind of Ionia mirrors, these like control mirrors, and just kind of beat them up.
Yeah, I agree. So, how do you think that this is going to go? Like, do you think this is going to be a quick 2-0 or
I think
2-1 here?
I definitely don't think it's quick. Like we said, these often go to time. It's really, really difficult to like knock these out quickly when you've got 2 of your friends talking in your ear. That said, I think this is probably going to go to a 2-1. Rise may be a challenge to get through, but that said, I think still Lotus will pull it out.
Yeah. So while we're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties here, while we try to get these technical difficulties reprimanded really fast, we're going to cut to a quick break here. Stay tuned with us. We'll be back here momentarily. Welcome back, everybody. We finally got our technical difficulties fixed. So real quick, we didn't show the decks. We're gonna, since we went over these decks real quick, we're going to flash these decks for you real quick so you can see. We see Aphrodite Esports bringing Rise Ionia, like we discussed. Pretty standard list. Not a whole lot to really talk about again, besides the inclusion of Portal Pioneer and Shuriman Telstones, which we already talked about. Moving on to the second deck as well, just so you guys can get a glimpse of what's going on here. The Seraphine Victor set list that we talked about briefly, basically being the inclusion of set. We said that it basically usually includes Ezreal, but the reason why it's not including Ezreal is because it is being used in the third deck here with Nyla, Ezreal, Janna, which I think is very spicy instead of using TF, because TF synergizes well with this deck, especially with Ruined Reckoner or Ruined Rex. I think that's going to be pretty big if they can get Ruined Rex like turned on. It basically flips the Ezreal pretty fast because it does target everything. But moving on to the other side, Lotus Esports, we have Aphelios Victor going for the more controlly version with Glorious Evo, not going for the burn version like we saw with Kaizen's lineup. Moving on to the second deck, we have Karma Set, basically the standard lineup, basically with the opt-ins of our the 9 lives and Rocket Barrage as well. Very good inclusions in my opinion, but it's more of a flavor thing, whether our preferencing. Moving on to the last one of my favorites once again, Jax Ornn with the inclusion of Bellows Breath. Most people have decided to go away from that list, and some people have decided to keep it in there. Now that we have gone through that, again, we've already discussed how we felt about the matchups. Let's go on to the ban phase. Finally, take it away, Spider Mansion. I need a breath.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if you have the bans in yet, but for me, I'm really looking to ban Jax Ornn as Aphrodite Esports. I think that mid-range deck kind of stomps, walks all over us. And from Lotus's side, I think we're probably banning the Neela Janna deck. It also, again, moves a bit too fast for our liking for our control decks.
I 100% agree with you. And we see the bans come in now. We see Rise getting banned and Jax Ornn as well. Now, you already know what I'm going to ask, Spider Mansion. What are we queuing up first?
I think we're flipping a coin and queuing up the Karma set, the set mirror here.
Oh, please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that.
I think they both want to just queue those decks up.
Please don't tell me that. If they want to queue these up, then they're not going to coin flip it, right?
Oh, yeah, I know. I was joking about the coin flip.
One of the things that I just...
Yeah.
I love this game. I just hate watching the Karma or the set mirrors. The set mirrors are they just drag on and on and on, especially in a collaborative set. If these guys queue this up first, we're going to be in for a very, very long game one. If I were to guess, I'd say this game one's probably going to eat up half, if not 3/4 of this time. I've seen people in these mirror matchups during these collab sets take up pretty much everything, leaving only like 15 minutes for game 2.
Yeah, I have seen that as well. It's tough. It is really tough to manage this time. But we do have some Aegis Esports veterans here. Let's see if they've come to know and love this collab set well enough that they don't run into this problem.
Yeah. Honestly, with the control-y version that we have of Aphelios Victor, it's really hard for me to really put the stats out on Nyla, Janna, Ezreal. I'm kind of just winging it here, just based off of a hunch. But just based off of a hunch, I think, honestly, this deck, especially with this list, can kind of sneak by Karma Set. And, we're basically flipping... With Ruined Rex, you're basically, if you're going for the full amount, if you're able to get that full amount on turn 5, you're basically flipping the Ezreal right off the spot.
Agreed. That Ruined Rex is going to be huge for that Ezreal, and it's partly why I quite like the addition of Ezreal here.
Yeah, it's absolutely I love this. This is spicy. I'm really excited to watch this deck. I don't care if it flops. I just want to see the Ezreal kind of pop off with the Ruined Rex.
Yeah.
And we are finally getting into game here. I know everybody has been waiting and wanting just to get into this match right away.
Yeah.
So our first decks of the day, we have Aphrodite Esports taking on or bringing Karma or not Karma, Seraphine Set Victor going up against Aphelios Victor. So not the mirror match that you predicted that was going to happen.
No. But an exciting match nonetheless.
Yeah, I hope this is pre-mole for Aphrodite Esports. This hand's not looking like the greatest, but Lotus Esports not terrible. Like Ballistic Bot and Aphelios in the opening hand is really cool, but Targonian Tilestones and Black Shield, I mean, I feel like we can live without.
Agreed.
Okay, it is pre-mole.
Yeah.
But the post-mole still wasn't that great either.
Yeah, not ideal.
Yeah, luckily we did draw our Sunken Temple right there just to be able to kind of get us through. Oh no, I am now glad we have a Sunken Temple. We need to get rid of this hand fast.
Yeah. Not one of the better hands I've seen.
Yeah.
Certainly one of the card game hands of all time.
Why didn't we develop the Seraphine?
You know, that's a good question. Maybe playing around burn spells, but then we just...
But he only had 1 mana, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was really weird.
Yes, but now we're generating Seraphine protection here in this Zed Shadow Shift.
Not a bad spell to generate right now, but like it's not really going to find a whole lot of use in this point in time, but it'll definitely show its value later on in the game here.
Agreed.
But not really much to go against for Aphrodite Esports right now. They're kind of just chilling until turn 5 here.
Yep.
And we see the Aphelios come down. I'm assuming we're going to generate a Crescendum.
Yep.
Just to be able to generate more board value for us. And we do see an Acorn in hand. Is going to be generating a pretty decent amount of value for us now that we have Star Shaping in hand.
Yeah, this is becoming a pretty scary board on the Lotus Esports side here.
Yeah. And as you can tell, like we mentioned before, like a lot of these turns are going to be a little bit slowed down. It's going to allow us to basically dissect a lot of these turns and a lot of these lines, like along with the players, because like I said, all 3 players are all on a call, sharing this matchup together, basically helping each other out, deciding which lines are the best lines. And like we just saw, like Aphrodite Esports just playing it slow, just wanting to play that formula into this Howling Gale, sorry. Yes.
And I quite like the use of that Black Shield here from Lotus here, protect that Aphelios, take it to board. And then from Aphrodite's side, we're probably just going to have to eat this 4 damage.
I don't hate eating this 4 damage. It's not the worst, but honestly, taking 1, not the worst either. We do have a second Seraphine, but I imagine we're just going to be slamming this Sunken Temple next turn because Lotus Esports doesn't have any removal for this.
No, but on the other hand, with the Victor off the top, we could be doing that instead, keeping up protection for the Seraphine.
Yeah. I'm just very curious, like the thought process on some of these decks. Like some of these decks, like especially this version of Aphelios Victor, why aren't we running like an Aftershock?
Yeah.
Like I feel like having an inclusion just to be able to counter some of these decks like this is really massive.
I'd have to agree. So let's see what Aphrodite decides on here. If we're going to be willing to toss away this Seraphine in favor of the second one, or if we want to play it safe and play this Victor.
I'm just honestly okay with just slamming Bar and just...
I agree with you.
Or not Bar, I'm sorry, Sunken Temple.
Yeah, I think if it's me, I'm playing the Sunken Temple. But when you got 3 people in call, you might want to play it, talk it through. And they decided to play it safe here.
Yeah, they want to get, like, having this 1-up Victor, if it's able to basically steamroll and basically generate all these keywords, this 1-up Victor can actually run away with the game very easily.
Oh, absolutely. And there is a lot of removal on Lotus's side, including that we've got excuse me, 2 burn spells and the hush that may be able to deal with this Victor.
But we're not in a position that we need to get rid of this Victor right now. We can just allow Aphrodite Esports to just like feel comfortable generating this value for this Victor and then coming in for the strike.
Yep. Just take your time.
We see the Crescendum come out. We're gonna see Severum now. That's very interesting.
That is very interesting considering they are at full health.
Actually, I'm sorry. It does make sense because Calibrum only targets followers. It doesn't target champions.
Yeah, that's fair. This does allow them to play a card, at least.
Yes. Oh, hitting
Mountain Goat is a nice hit.
Yeah, Mountain Goat. Even though we're not running, are we running Mountain Goat in this list?
I don't believe so.
Hold on.
Aphelios Victor, yeah, they are not running Mountain Goat in this list.
Just generating the card that that this deck normally should run, especially without playing it. So we're gonna see the Seraphine spell come out just to be able to take off this ballistic bot. Just stop generating this burn, because if you let this ballistic bot just go hard and just generate all these burn spells, you're gonna be in a tough situation real quick.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Oh, we talked like the Eye of the Dragon here on on Aphrodite's side, but another ballistic bot on Lotus's side here.
Yeah.
Both of which are really cards we like to see.
Yeah, honestly, with Eye of the Dragon here, you're basically not really constantly, but you're getting to a point where you can be flowing pretty frequently.
Yeah, especially with Victor on the board.
Yeah.
We're basically always flowing. But I like this, taking a nice soft pass. 0 mana proc Victor.
Yeah.
We hit tough, which is really a good hit.
Yeah, tough is absolutely massive. Like once you generate tough, it's going to be hard to really take care of this Victor.
Yeah. And we see the Severum come out just so that we can play the spell. We go with Gravitum next, which is good. We skipped the Calibrum, went to Severum, and now we can Gravitum, stun a unit, push a little bit more damage.
Yeah, I like honestly hitting this Victor right now.
Yep.
But now Aphrodite Esports Alpha I feel like with waiting on playing this temple now, they're kind of in an awkward spot to where they can't play this temple anymore.
Yeah. It's tough. I think we either need to play this temple this turn, or I don't know if we're gonna get to play it soon. I mean, maybe we can play it next turn, but we're running out of time.
How about a duet?
We're gonna sack the Seraphine. Oh no, we're gonna shadow.
We're gonna shadow. Interesting.
Like if this Victor had regen, I could justify this, but this is just gonna take this Victor off the board now.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry, not really gonna take it off the board because we do have the Shadow Shift in hand, but like I don't want to burn a Shadow Shift just to protect this Victor. I want to keep this Victor on the board.
Agree.
Like losing these 2 turns worth of keywords is just not positive.
Not really where I want to be.
Yes.
Curious to see what Aphrodite does here as well. I think here I might just want to say I don't need Victor. I could slam this. Slam the temple. If Lotus wants to clean up either of these champions, they can. But if not, we're getting our engine online from Aphrodite.
Yeah, like Lotus Esports is in a comfortable position right now. They don't have to take care of any of these champions right now, but it doesn't hurt to get rid of the Victor right now. Like they're tapped out. Like if if they're to the point where, or if Aphrodite Esports hits a spell shield next turn, then they get into an issue.
Yeah.
And let's see what we can generate here off of this Sunken Temple. Honestly, not bad. Not bad.
These
This
are pretty
kind
decent hits.
Yeah, this kind of fixed our issues with our last hand.
Yeah. We redrew the Eye of the Dragon and the set, which is quite nice. They're now 1 mana cheaper. We also redrew the Aftershock here, which cleans up the Ballistic Bot quite nicely, or the Aphelios, which I think Aphelios is at 2 of 4 currently. Yes.
Yeah, the Aphelios is at 2 of 4.
Yeah. They played the Crescendum and the Severum so far. So we may want to just clean that up.
Yeah. So you see the Ballistic Bot just taking Aphrodite, or Lotus Esports is taking it kind of slow. They're being non-committal right now, just kind of writing this out, seeing what Aphrodite Esports wants to do. And honestly, I'm okay with taking this pass.
Yeah, I think both sides are totally comfortable with just ending round here.
Lotus Esports not deciding not to go with that and deciding to play the Spacey Sketcher now.
Yeah, I like kind of forcing this out here as well. You know, the Lotus Esports is not going to be able to generate a new moon weapon this turn now. They're going to have to wait till next turn. We're slowing down the Aphelios level up as Aphrodite. So I think that's quite a nice line here. And here we're just cleaning up, we're considering just cleaning up the Aphelios, and no, instead cleaning up the Ballistic Bot, providing this consistent sort of source of burn. I don't hate this.
I do.
You would have preferred this going on the Aphelios?
Like we're kind of to the point where Aphelios is getting close to flip here. Like taking this Aphelios out of the hand, like forcing the Lotus Esports to take another or play another Aphelios. Like Aphelios is what's going to get this deck to the finish line here. And Victor,
yeah, I don't disagree.
Ballistic Bot is not going to be there. It's a threat, sure, but it's not really going to win them the game here. It's going to take a lot more time to get them to the finish line. Besides, or instead of Aphelios getting there.
Yeah. I don't disagree, but Aphelios still is 2 weapons away from leveling, and we can't generate another weapon this turn. So they're kind of slowed down. Additionally, you know, potentially we could play this set and clean up the Aphelios instead.
And opting to play the Messenger on Lotus Esports and drawing into the Victor, that's absolutely massive. Like if we get this Victor,
great.
Like if we get this Victor going pretty soon here, like it's gonna be really rough for Aphrodite Esports. Like
yeah,
and go ahead.
I was just going to say that, you know, something of note, like we said, it's really hard to manage time in a collab set, and Aphrodite Esports is already in game overtime, meaning that their turn timer is significantly shortened at this point.
Yes, like we're on turn, we're like more than 10 minutes into this game, and we're only on turn 6.
Yep.
Like most solo sets, you're basically like 5 minutes into the game right now, and you're almost at like turn 9.
Yep.
So we see the Victor come down, flips.
Come down leveled. Which means this Gravitum is now only 1 mana. And it's face up, which means that, you know, we could play this set in, it will just get stunned.
Yeah, I really appreciate this.
Yeah, I think this was a really good play.
Yeah, I assume we're just either gonna... I feel like we should just go for an Infernum at this point.
I would have to agree. But we won't be able to see what they took until next turn.
Yeah, and they're gonna
when they play 2 spells.
And the nice thing about the Flip Victor is we're spending 1 mana less on these shackles now.
Yep, that's a good point. These shackles are now only 1 mana. We're going to be able to free our quick attack Aphelios soon, and hit a elusive on this Victor.
Oh man, elusive is absolutely massive, but we do have some answers to play around with for Aphrodite Esports. Like
Yeah.
there's not really a clear. Honestly, there's no real clear side that's in the lead right now. I feel like they're pretty even.
No, both sides are playing well. I think if you're Aphrodite Esports, though, you have to send this homecoming now at this Victor. Play around the spell shield.
But even though we
take no action,
ooh,
and he
hitting
gets life steal, not spell shield, which means we can act in during combat. But we do need to act quickly. We are running out of turn timer.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of difficult here.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't hate this Disciple of Doran, and here we are playing Infernum. I would assume on the Aphelios, which is about to generate quick attack.
I think that was on the Aphelios.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the Aphelios.
Momentarily, yes, indeed, on the Aphelios, which will now be a 6/5 with Overwhelm for this attack.
And we can also generate another weapon this turn as well.
Yes.
I don't think we have the resources to really do so. I mean, we can play a Targonian Telstones and just waste it. Actually, no, we don't have to waste it.
Our weapons will be free. Our moon weapons are currently free, and we can play whatever we generated off of the Telstones for 1 mana cheaper.
So, honestly, I'm a big fan of using one of these Targonian Telstones here for Behold the Infinite.
I have to agree with you. I think that's a really good line.
Like what? It's Behold the Infinite is 3 mana, right?
Behold the Infinite is 2 mana. It would be a 1 mana spell here. So here, from Aphrodite's side, we really have to act quickly on these blocks. I would expect to see a tag out and a homecoming come out on both of these champions. Where you want to send the homecoming from the temple, but it looks like no, we're just removing Victor, which I don't hate either. But we are giving up our Eye of the Dragon, which also does seem fine. We're not able to generate our Dragonlings right now, so giving it up, seems okay. Pushes less damage.
I would have been okay with throwing Disciple Doran under the bus, honestly.
Yeah, taking 1 more damage. I think that's probably a little bit better, a little bit safer.
So we see Victor getting replayed here with Fury now. We see Calibrum coming out to deal with this Disciple of Doran as well.
Yeah.
I imagine we're going to phase into Severnum here just to be able to kind of get us through to the finish line now.
Yeah, agreed. Both of Aphrodite's champions are about to level.
Yeah, it's very close.
Yes.
So we see Oddcore getting played into Entrancing Lure. Not really going to do us a whole lot of good here.
No, I think I would have liked to wait to play that Encore until leveled. But here, using it to level, we can play this Rummage for double value and flip this this set for good measure, which should allow us this turn to probably clean up the Victor. And, you know what? Clean up the Aphelios for good measure as well. Here on first priority, I would expect Lotus to hush one of these champions.
Like, we just hush the set here and just take out set, right? Oh, no.
Oh, this is interesting. Are we going to hush after, or are we just going to keep it alive?
Yeah, we're hushing after. We're hushing after. That's the line.
I like it. Yeah, we have to hush here, or else we're not going to keep either champion. Still, we see the ooh.
I like the
I quite
shadow
like the
shift.
shadow shift here. I think it's playing very safe.
We get a shadow in hand as well. I forgot about that interaction.
Because we double recalled. Very silly.
So Victor gonna generate another keyword. I forget that Deathless is in the pool still now, or in the pool now.
Yep.
That's actually
However,
funny.
It doesn't really matter. We will be likely obliterating him when we replay this set this turn.
Oh, be honest. Do we actually obliterate the Victor, or do we obliterate the Aphelios? I think we
obliterate the Victor.
I think we obliterate the Aphelios.
The reason I don't think we obliterate the Aphelios is because we have this high note in hand where we can clean up the Aphelios.
I mean, that's fair. But are we getting to the point where... Yeah, we're getting to that point now.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep, now we're able to clear the board.
Yeah. And we have mana for this Nopify in hand as well to clean up this this Get Excited. So I think we're just... I think from Aphrodite's side, we're really smooth sailing.
Yeah, I agree. And we're going to see the Dustbringer come out, and now this high note is actually going to get a bunch of value for us.
Yep. And this is not the first high note we've seen this turn, which means it's, not going to be enough to kill this Aphelios.
Oh, wait, we hit Living Legends. Wait, it's not over.
Living Legends. It's not Jover. Is that going to be enough, though?
So we have ways of dealing with this Aphelios now. Never mind, it's just God. We don't need to deal with it because we're gamers.
Oh my goodness. So here we hit the Scourge, the Destroyer, and Supernova.
This hand is really rough.
Oh, and we hit the Great Beyond, which is really the one we I should have noticed and known would be taken.
It's not.
However, it's just not going to be enough.
It's not going to matter. We have so much to deal with this.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this. Play the Caustic Rift. Play the Caustic Rift and play the...
I think play the Caustic Rift. I know we want to... Yeah, I like this Lion. I think we're losing to burn spells, but we do have ways to play around it, so or respond. So, and, they don't have any mana, so we just get to heal again. Then we win. We're really just very far ahead.
We're never losing to burn spells in that situation because they're just at 1 mana.
Yeah.
Getting 2 hits off a time trick now, seeing Piltover Tellstones in both. Like picking up the refreshments. And we pick up yep, Lotus Esports kind of sees the writing on the wall. There's not really any way we can do it. Just save time and just go next.
Agreed. I like the go next here. Just move on. And I'm interested to see what Lotus decides to queue up here into this Ezreal Neelajana.
And going on to the next match, we see Lotus Esports picking up Karma set now.
Yeah, I like the deck switch.
I like the deck switch.
Try and reset. And here we are in match 2. We've already eaten more than 20 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, honestly, to be honest. I think if they kind of played it out, they could have just put Aphrodite Esports Alpha in a bigger spot.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. We're playing a faster deck on Aphrodite Esports Alpha. The faster decks are pretty straightforward with decision makings. They're not really convoluted with their lines. But like Lotus Esports, they need to save this time because they're playing the convoluted deck right now that has to figure out what they want to do exactly now. So they're now on the back pedal. They need to figure out how they're going to do this, and they need to do this fast. They cannot take a lot of time on this.
Yeah, plus if they go to time, they lost game 1. They're in a difficult spot at time.
So we see Title Invocation getting played, just generating a 1/1 tentacle right now, and we see the Gotcha picked up, but it's going to be shuffled right back into the deck with this Janna now.
Yep.
I just assume we're just shuffling Gotcha and we're just opening. Really,
I like the open attack, not lose to like any sort of removal spells here. Now we can play the Janna fairly safely.
Wow.
And we keep the Gotcha in hand. Not what I would expect.
I am very confused about that.
Yeah, that's very, very surprising to me.
Ain't no fight I can't win.
So this is going to be a little rough for Aphrodite Esports Alpha here. Oh, are they going for it?
And we picked up another Gotcha and the Temple.
Are they going for this Ruined Rex?
I don't know.
They are. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's gonna do it.
So Ezreal's already at 5 stacks. Look at that.
Yes, and
actually, no. I'm sorry. He's at 6.
To recall.
He's at.
It's at 6 stacks, right?
Yeah, it's at 6 stacks because we played Title Invocation.
Yep. And Lotus opts to let this set fall, knowing they have another set in hand. From Aphrodite's side, we're losing our Temple, we're losing our Gotcha, but I think that's a trade we're happy with taking.
Yeah, I 100%
especially
agree with
because we get
that.
a very favorable open attack.
We do, but with Caster Vision, we see that this open attack's not as great as we think it is.
That's true. It's very reasonable. We'll probably see both a Mystic Shot and a Recall come out. But I think, from Aphrodite's side, we're pretty comfortable with that.
I don't think we're going to see a tag out here because we don't want to tag out this Rex.
Yeah, or the Janna.
Yeah, this is a little interesting here. We're looking to push. Oh, man. Aphrodite is cooking here, man. What did I tell you?
This Ruined Rex is doing work.
Who needs TF when you got just a Ruined Rex and just literally draw your Slipstream? Draw your one Slipstream that you put in the deck and your Ruined Rex, and look at that. You're perfectly fine.
Yep. They're just hanging out. And I love putting the buff spell on that, playing around the potential tag out, saying that, if you want to prevent this damage, recall it. I'll just apply more.
Exactly. Now we have 2 Pool Sharks on hand.
So we're getting 2 draws.
Oh,
potentially
man.
drawing into another Ruined Rex, or into a Temple, or into an Ezreal. Into the third Pool Shark and to the Temple.
Oh, man. We are so comfortable right now.
Yeah, we're really in a good spot.
Literally.
So we may not be able to save this.
Kick back your chair and just relax.
I think we say goodbye to this Janna, get this Temple down, find the next one. Maybe that's because I have Caster Vision, though, knowing that they can beat this combo here. I think I would rather just get this Temple down.
Yeah, I honestly don't hate this. I don't hate this at all. We're kind of in a favorable spot that we don't really have to worry about this. Especially since we did see that Portal Pioneer did generate has to generate the landmark removal spell.
Yeah.
Like that's a heads up play. Like Aphrodite Esports Alpha realizes that, hey, they played this Portal Pioneer already. We're probably in a spot to where we can't really play this Temple, and if we do, we're just wasting 4 mana. So let's just be more proactive and just draw more cards later on.
True.
Like,
yeah, we'll just draw three extra cards next turn
yeah.
and just get some nice refill.
Oh man, this is cooking.
And we hit the extra Janna, we hit the gotcha, and we hit more draw.
Oh man, look at this.
Now we're forcing big blocks. We're probably forcing this high note out.
This'll be a good warm-up.
Where's the doorman?
So we're gonna see the gotcha hit the set, right? Right.
Almost certainly in response to what I would expect. They tag out the set, and we gotcha in response.
We gotching the set, or are we gotching the mixologist?
It's a good question. I think that depends what spells we see here and where they go.
Where's the doorman?
The Lotus Esports just trying to figure out where they want to put this high note and this tag out, and they're going for the set, but it's gonna be hit with the gotcha.
Yeah, I think this is the play. Now here, if you're Aphrodite, how do you play the rest of your hand? I think I like only updrafting one card and then playing the Exalted Cloudwinder instead of updrafting both cards.
Yeah.
Just getting more cards in hand.
But like, I mean, Janna's gonna be doing the same exact thing though.
It's one extra card in hand if you only updraft the singular card.
Oh, this is true. You're right. You're right.
Yes. So, and that is the line Aphrodite elects to take. They're emptying their hand. They're drawing up 4 cards next turn. 3 of which will be discounted, and 1 of which is another Exalted Cloudwinder, and another of which is Neela.
Oh man, this Nyla is flipped as well. Lotus Esports not looking great, but
no, but they did find the karma.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
No,
I think it's too late.
I don't know. We'll have to see what spell this karma generates.
Oh, we
he
offer
takes
the
that
set
instead.
Like the set has to clean up this board, right?
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
I understand
know.
I understand why.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I don't hate it, but I don't know.
I do like this heads up play. Just do it. Yes. Yes. This is putting the nail in the coffin, Spider Mansion.
Yeah, I think this might be it. With this tag out, I don't think we have enough mana to replay the set afterwards.
No, we don't.
I think that might just be it.
His coin is at 2 mana right now.
Coin is only at 2, yeah, so we'll generate a 3rd point of mana. We won't be able to replay.
And you just overwrite the pull shark with the Nyla here, and you just say, all right, this is it.
Yep.
Wow. I told you guys, and you guys didn't believe me. You guys didn't believe in the spice, and here we are.
Yeah, I think that's going to do it. I don't think there's anything that Lotus could find off the top that would get them there.
I will aid you, Nina, for you face monsters.
It is the
Absolutely crazy. I swear, if this was an Eternal Open, I would be bringing this to the Open tomorrow, 120%.
Understandable.
So you see the Aftershock come down. We know that Lotus Esports is just on the set now. It is up to this top deck, but I don't think there's a top deck out here, Spider-Man. I
9
think
lives,
this is it.
perhaps? Caustic Riff is not going to do it.
And that is going to spell the end for Lotus Esports. Oh yeah, that's lethal.
Yep. We are live at 1, but I don't know that it's going to be enough to be live at 1.
Yeah, no, we just play the Sunken Temple and say, all right, we're gonna find burn here.
Yep.
Line starts here.
Let's see what happens. I'm sure they find the burn.
They have 3 draws here, or 4 draws here. They have to. All right, that's not it. We still got 2 more.
No, but it's Slipstream. We found a 9 lives. A turn too late.
There it is.
Yeah, and there's the burn. That's going to do it.
We just ripped the Mystic Shot to the face. Aphrodite Esports Alpha kind of holding back, seeing if there's going to be a deny, but they realize that it doesn't really matter if they have so much draw potential.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You might as well just
spot.
send it. If there's a deny, just draw a million more cards. You're already far ahead.
Exactly.
And that's going to do it.
Lotus Esports just kind of going through the motions, seeing if there's anything that they can do to generate it.
Nope.
Or generate it now, and they can't. So Aphrodite Esports takes it.
Yes.
With a
they
swift 2-0.
2-0.
With wind in our sails.
Very impressive, decisive win from Aphrodite Esports.
I am pretty sure I called this being a 2-0. Did I not? I don't remember. I think I
Chat,
did.
did he do it? Chat, did he call it?
I don't know.
Remember either.
I can't go back 5 minutes into the VOD and actually see if I did or not, but I think I did. I knew Aphrodite Esports was going to win, but I didn't. I hoped for a 2-0. And like this Janna, Nyla, Ezreal deck, on paper it doesn't look great. I'll be honest. I'll be frank, but it was very spicy.
But I was very impressed.
We didn't get to see
very impressed by the Ruined Rex.
We didn't get to see the Ezreal really pop off like I wanted to, but Ruined Rex kind of just carried that entire game.
Absolutely.
So with that, what were your thoughts on the final match, Spider Mansion?
You know, it didn't go the way I expected, but it was pretty much domination from Aphrodite Esports. They played it very well. They're known for bringing lists that don't look good on paper, to be perfectly honest. But when they get behind the pilot seat, they play quite well and show that, like, you know, sometimes making decisions that look a little strange on paper can pay off.
Yeah, 100%. But with the first week of Aegis coming to a wrap on the Eternal format, I can't wait to see next week. I can't wait to see what's going to be on the table next week. It's going to be so hard to prep for because, like, everything, like I said, everything's on the table. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You can't really tell what your opponent's going to bring next week.
Yeah, it's so variable in this format. You know, I don't think we saw any new cards today. I'm very interested to see, since they just came out 2 days ago, if over the next week people start playing with them a little more, trying to build around them.
Yeah. But with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up and send it off here. Thank you for joining us. This has been Aegis Esports Fate's Voyage Beyond Week 1 LoR League. Say that 6 times fast. Don't say it 5 times fast, because I already tried saying it 5 times fast and it's impossible. But with that, I am going to send it off here. Spider Mansion, thank you for joining me on the desk tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right, with that, we will send it off here. Stay tuned, or be back next week, same time, same channel. We'll be here again, probably me and Spider Mansion again. But with that, have a good night, stay safe, stay blessed, and we'll see you next time.